各位朋友，大家好，大家晚安，欢迎大家今天来参加我们2022年 European Study Talk 留学欧洲说明会。那这个活动是由欧洲在台官方单位联合举办，我们将从2022年的9月一直进行到2023年的2月。整个系列活动将邀请到超过50多所的欧洲知名高等校院进行留学欧洲线上说明会。那我们即将邀请到的有德国、英国、法国、比利时、荷兰、瑞典、瑞士和意大利等专业顶尖的欧洲学校，将接力的为台湾学生你的留学计划来指点迷津。那学校除了有商管学院、资讯学院，更有著名的理工设计、观光、医学科系等知名的院校会加入，相对要提供最新的教育制度、申请流程、奖学金以及毕业后在当地工作或创业等最新资讯。你一定可以收集到你所需要的资讯和听到学校的经验分享，来帮助你准备的申请。那今晚留学欧洲部署未来要带您到参加的是专业比例美学、专业摄影以及剪裁技能，就从留学法国开始。Tonight we are very happy to have Aicp 国际剪裁学院从法国。那这个学校是一个低调的大咖，学生享受自由的创作，以及还有产学的合作。学校专业的标杆，以及法国之后待会下一场专业摄影以及剪裁高等教育的领导者。那等一下法国巴黎国际服装裁缝学院 Aicp 是从1830年由数名专业手工裁缝师成立的，那一直源源不断在手工制衣业以及还有成衣业培养男女版型专业的人士，已经有192年的历史了。学校强大，教师阵容呢，完全值得你前来这个学生信赖以及来学习。学校独家的这个制版系统，既能满足这个高级服装制版师的这个专业人士的需求，以及还有迎合成衣业，也就是服装工业的基本要求而发展出来的。那法国这个巴黎国际服装学院裁缝学院 Aicp 一直是由专业人士经营管理，校内师长一直都在各大的高级时装品牌以及成衣品牌旗下来任职。很多的这个服装业的专业人士都在这个学校学习过，那学校更被大众来公认为有保障的这个服装版系专业培训的学院。Aicp 的这个辉煌的学院呢，传统以及众口称赞的这个专业实力，致力于符合这个服装专业人士不断更新的需求，打造这个符合专业潮流发展的一流的这个学院。学校定期举办跟各大企业的互动，以及还有提供学生这样子的工作，以及还有留学的咨询的服务，在职进修以及法国成人职业教育范围内的这些培训。学校的综合就业环境十分的有利于学生熟悉服装业的这个专业环境，让你毕业后就能够迅速的就业。那各类的课程待会在听完之后，如果你有任何的问题，都欢迎你在我们 Q&A 的这个栏位问与答的栏位中打下你的问题，我们会后面再请学校来帮我们做回答。Okay, now let's welcome Amanda and Christine from France Aicp 国际剪裁学院. Over to you, Amanda.
Hi.
Hi, is it our turn?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentation. We are Amandine and I, Christine, from Aicp in Paris. It's the fashion school for clothing pattern makers and drapers. And we are a very high-level school and an old school since 1830. And we work a lot for luxus and haute couture. And the only one who stay now in France. And I will let Amandine present you the Académie Internationale de Coupe de Paris. Amandine, vas-y.
Okay, so as Christine said, Aicp was founded in 1830 by a syndicate of artisan tailors. Since then, we have been training young people in the technical profession of fashion. And the particularity of Aicp is that we use our own geometric construction methodology the Vauclair Darroux methodology. Here is some figures about the school. So we have 118 years of experience. There is about 10,000 Aicp graduates around the world. And in Paris, there are around 300 students per year. We are working with around 80 partner companies from ready-to-wear to haute couture, such as Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Dior, Louis Vuitton, Hermès, Chloé, and so on. And we have 2 campuses, one in Paris, the historical one, and we have another one in Tashkent in Uzbekistan. We have 3 main activities, initial education, continuing education, and a publishing department. But today I'm going to focus on the initial education part because it's the one that concerns you the most. About the initial education, it's concern our training program in the pattern making and draping profession for French and international students like you. Yes, we have 3 main training programs that take place over around 3 years. The first one is foundation years. Then we have the international technical fashion design training, and then the technical fashion design and creative design training. And I'm gonna detail these 3 training program in the next slides. First of all, we offer a foundation year for beginner or for people who do not have a sufficient level in clothing construction and assembly. We assess your level through an entry test. And if you are a beginner or if your test is insufficient, you will have to join this foundation years. This year's is 8 to 11 months full-time study program with 3 to 6 months of internship. And during these foundation years, you will acquire the necessary basics for practical and technical skills in clothing construction and assembly, such as sewing, fabrication of simple garments, assembly of garment pieces, introduction to pattern making and draping, fashion and clothing technology, history of fashion, and so on. After successfully completing the foundation years or passing the entrance test, you can join the International Technical Fashion Design training. This training is certified by the French government at level 5. And it is divided into 2 modules of around 4 months. And in this formation, you will learn pattern making, draping, advanced pattern making, clothing assembly and fabrication methodology, CAO, DAO, sourcing documents, design studio, and sewing room English, and so on. At the end of this training, you will have to do an internship, 3 to 6 months internship in a company.
And what is very important, Amandine, is to say that for internship, we have a department who help all the students to find a company which is interesting in you. And that's most in couture, or in luxus, or in prêt-à-porter. We have a lot of partners, as Amandine said. So it's very important, you are not alone.
And then if you want to continue your study at Aicp and improve your technical skills, you can integrate our final years, which is technical fashion design and creative design. This training is certified by the French government at level 6.
So as licensee?
Yes. And it takes place over 11 months, including a 6 months internship. The technical level of this training is much higher, and new subjects are covered, such as marketing, supply chain, production site organization, and so on.
What we can add, it's during this year, or at the end of this year, you have to present your work as a memory and your own collection. You have a collection to do and to realize as you want as a designer, and you have to present everything to a jury, a trade jury, professional jury, and at the end we will deliver a licensee. What is important, it's the last year as licensee. During this year, you are working as a very autonomous student, and you can express your creativity.
So here you can see some creation of our students, the one who are in the third year program. Yeah, so about the career prospect after AECP, you can qualify to apply as a technical fashion designer, design studio manager, design studio assistant, pattern maker, grader, sample maker, production manager, product development manager, quality controller, finished product technician, and you can also undertake a business creation project if you want. And what we can say about your futures after AECP is that AECP is highly recognized in French and international companies as the technical school for pattern maker and drapers, because we are the only school who only do draping and pattern making. Yes. So it's time for Q&A. So if you have any question, we are listening to you.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Christine and Amanda, for the informative and detailed information. 好，欢迎大家尽量把想要问的问题来打在我们的这个问与答这个地方。Okay, I think let's give some time for the audience student to think of the question and type on the Q&A box. And then before they show on the Q&A box, I have some question. So for entering to the AICP, are there any language requirement for taking the course?
Yeah. All our courses are in French, so you have to understand French. We don't ask for a specific test or level, but you need to be able to speak and understand basics French.
I see. Great. So actually for the application for AICP doesn't require any like the certificate or test, French test certificate to register to submit their application, right?
No, because when we speak with the applicant, we can see if it's okay or not.
So are there any entry requirement or document that for the student, if they want to apply for AICP, what sort of the document or maybe the profile or project that they have been doing and before they send it to AICP?
Yes, we ask for first documents is a CV and a book of what they have done. And for example, in the third year for the licensee, it's open to people who have done other schools and fashion schools during 2 years or 3 years. And after, they can do our licensee when we saw the book and we discuss with the students.
Right.
It's very important because this 3rd year, it's exactly as if the student want to launch his label. And so he has to have done some courses in other school, and now he knew or he knows that he like pattern making. So for every step, we have to see CV, book, discuss with a student. For example, we can do with Zoom or Teams, not a problem. And after, we can advise what is the best for him.
Right. Okay. Sounds very flexible. So are there any age like limitation for entering or for studying in AICP? Age limitation?
No. Oh wait, the minimum is 18.
18. Okay, great. So,
There's no maximum.
so for the student, if they are coming from Taiwan, so they have to graduate from the high school, does that mean the student have to have like some like the arts background or drawing background or
for the 3rd year, for the licensee, but before they can come without nothing in sewing because we have this foundation course.
Yeah.
So it's every grade of studies they have done if they like pattern making.
That's great. Sounds really good. So from your program, I have seen that there's one program called Product Development Manager or management. Does that mean that this course has involved like something like the business or marketing? So the student who is taking this class will be learning some like business development. So are there any like business involved?
The most important in the program is technique and their own collection they has to do. But you have about 3 weeks with professional teachers who are coming and speaking of marketing, distribution, communication, supply chain, RSE, and everything all around this technique to give to the student a transversal knowledges. It's about 3 weeks, about all the year, and all the year it's a collection they ask to do for the end of the year as the jury.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's very, very hands-on and also very technical on the fashion design courses. I know there are some of Taiwanese students are coming from the Furen University from Taiwan and study in your school. Do you have any Taiwanese students are currently studying over there? And then you can give us a maybe a sample like what does the Taiwanese student mostly study in AICP?
Des anciens qui sont de Taïwan, de Chine. What are they doing?
Ils sont par exemple, Uniqlo. Uniqlo aussi, beaucoup. Hein.
Some of them are now working at Uniqlo, Japan.
Yeah.
And some of them stay in France and work also in great companies in couture.
Yeah.
Some of them are now in a company for prêt-à-porter in France. Some of them gone away to Taiwan because we know some of them will launch their brands too.
Yeah.
And everything is possible at the end. What students have to know, it's at this moment, not only in France, but everywhere, technical careers are very research. because a lot of people are going to be retired. And a lot of people learn now design, but not technique.
Yeah.
And people who learn technique at this moment are very research on the career markets. And that in France, it's sure. And we think it's everywhere, and we know it's everywhere. So it's a very good choice for the future. But you have to love technique. It's
Right.
important. It's passionate, and it's very important.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, you are right. I think right now to learning some technique, you know, like hands-on program, I think right now for the nowadays, it's a very good idea, you know, to create their own unique professional or technique for the future as it's also a substantial, you know, like leaving and leaving all the, you know, good things and design patterns and product or clothes and you know, from now on to the future. I think right now, yeah, for the student Taiwan, 各位同学，如果你对于这个打板师以及还有专业的裁缝师有兴趣的话，真的这个学校是你一定可以来收集资讯的，以及还有考虑他们的课程，因为这个学校是非常非常专业的一个在法国的一个专业的这个裁缝，以及还有专业的这个制装师这个打板的师傅的专业课程So how about the internship? How can the student in the school and then they can link into the industry through the help from the AICP?
So as we said, we have a department here at the school with 2 persons who take care of finding internship in the companies. Right. So it's they are not alone. And especially for the people who are coming from other countries, because they don't know the people. And so we help them and we find some internship for them.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So for the internship, does the student need to at least finish or complete a certain of courses or they can start looking for the internship on their second year?
In every year we have internship, and during the foundation courses it's between some courses, and in the second year altogether intensive program it's at the end, and for the third year licensee it's at the end. And what we ask to the student, it's also to give reports of this internship, because it's very important for the certification and for the diploma.
That's great. And so I heard, and also I learned from your school, and the diploma or the certificate from your school is actually very, very outstanding, also very famous in France. Is that what is that about? And can you explain more or tell us more?
Yes, it's because first there is no more a lot of school. We are not unique, but fast unique. Secondly, because it's a school, as Amandine said, with some special methods, and it's very close to luxus, couture, and prêt-à-porter. It's important. It's also because we give courses in the companies, and especially in the couture and luxus companies. Every week our teachers have some worker, salary, pattern maker in the companies, like Chanel, Balenciaga, Kenzo. Everybody is coming at AICP to learn more for the salary people. So we are very well known in all the companies, and the very good companies. That's why we have a very good reputation and very, very quality reputation in the companies.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So can you give us some idea about the tuition fee?
Tu veux donner les coûts?
The course, how much does it cost?
Yes, we take the lists.
Yeah.
And so it's in euro.
So for the foundation years, it's 10,500 euros.
For all the year.
For first year, for 1 year.
Yes,
for
1
1
year.
years.
Okay.
For the international technical fashion design, it's 30,000 and 750 euros.
It's 13,000.
So that's an intensive course, and it's all the day from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It's the first year and the second year all together.
Yeah.
So intensive.
Intensive, right. Okay.
Yes, and the technical fashion design and creative design, it's 11,500 euros.
Okay. So I think that's quite okay. So are there any scholarship or funds that student they can apply, like scholarship?
No, we don't really have scholarships.
No, because we are a private school and association, and it's not possible.
Sure.
What I want to say, what is very important, we ask also for all the year, every year, 200 euros. It's not a lot, but we have to say to each student, because we give everything. We give fabric, we give everything all the year. So the students who are at the school, they don't have to give money for everything, as in a lot of school. And everything is given by the school first. And secondly, all the students are in very small group in each class. For example, foundation course, it's the more we want in a class, it's 16. There are maximum 16%.
Yeah.
And in all the other classes, it's maximum 20 or 22%. Because it's very important for them to be in a small group, like atelier, like in the companies, and we don't want big classes.
Yeah, definitely. For those, technical, it definitely needs a very small group of students so they can work together, and then teacher, trainer can be checking. Yeah, can be checking more often. Yes, definitely. So how should a student apply, send their application or to get in contact with you?
It's by email. Our mail is info at aicp
France. Yeah.
And the students can send us his CV and his book.
So are there any, sorry, go ahead.
And then we
take contact.
Yes, we take contact and we fix an interview to speak with the people.
Right. So are there any, like, the time frame that the student, when is the application deadline, or what's the time students should send their application to you?
We don't have specific dates for application. It's just that you have to book your places in the school 1 month before the first day.
Mm-hmm. So is it what's the sort of the course turns, like does the course starts in September or in January? What's the turn look like?
So the foundation courses are beginning there is two periods, end of August and end of November. The intensive course for the 2 years, it's now next time it's qu'est-ce que c'est début octobre? Beginning of October. And we have another possibility beginning of January next year. And for the 3rd year, it's the beginning of September.
Okay. So it's also like 2 turns in 1 year. Is that right? So
Yes,
October
exactly.
and then
Exactly.
in September.
Yes. Next time it will be beginning of October, and the time after will be beginning of January in 24. So there is 2 possibilities.
Right. Okay. So the student can actually send their application right now and then to catch on.
Yes.
The course starts in January.
Yes, the best time for application form for all this program now, it's at the beginning or between January and April 23.
Okay.
Because as we said, we are a very exclusive school. We don't have a lot of places.
Yeah.
And we are a small school. And if they want to be sure to have a place, the better is the beginning of next year to apply.
Sure. So actually, if the student would like to maybe polish or practice or improve their maybe French before their actual the course starts, do you have any like language school working together, or the student have to find their language school on their own?
Or they learn French in Taiwan before coming, for example, at Alliance Française or some other institutes.
Yeah.
Or we can, if they want to live in Paris before the beginning of the school, we can help them to find a school to learn French.
Okay.
That's the same, or Alliance Française or La Sorbonne, or there is a lot of private schools too.
Yeah.
There is no problem.
Sounds pretty good, and sounds like a big package for the student as well, and they can do actually make a plan for that. Yes. 好，那在线上的同学，如果你还有想到的任何问题，是我没有问到的话，也欢迎你直接把你的问题打在这个 Q&A 的栏位，你可以打中文、打英文都没有关系。欢迎多多的询问，有想到任何的问题，再来询问这个非常专业的这个法国巴黎国际服装裁缝学院 AICP， 欢迎大家踊跃的来询问。
So we have just to tell you also, if the student, when they want to have some information or to apply, and if they don't speak enough French, they can send us the asking in Taiwan language. It's not a problem because here we have some people who can read and speak also. So it's not a problem. It's better and easier for them.
Right. Good. Oh, that's great. So I guess there you have some of the teachers or teachers are from Taiwan as well. Yes.
Or how to say, students who have done the school and with who we are in contact. It's not a problem.
That's great. That's really, really useful for the student from Taiwan. Yeah. 好，那各位还有没有任何问题，或者是把你想要想要再多了解这个学校 AICP 学校的问题，麻烦你都赶紧的打在我们 Q&A 的问与答的栏位这边哦。Okay, I think so far there are no other question from the audiences. Are there any other information, Christine and Amanda, would like to share with us?
No.
Okay.
Thank you very much to you because you explain very well, and we will be delighted to welcome some students from Taiwan.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure for us, and we have a lot of international students, and especially from Asia. So it's always a pleasure for us.
That's true. Yeah, I think Taiwanese students do have the sense of like the arts, and also lots of them are learning, studying, like drawing, and like to get involved with getting to the design, fashion, career or business. I think for them to think of like or study in AICP is definitely a good choice for them as well. Okay. 好，那如果各位没有问题的话，那我们这一场的 AICP 的说明会就要到此告一段落了。如果各位之后还有任何想要问的问题，也欢迎你可以直接跟我们的校代这边来直接联系，或者是上学校的网站。那真的是有兴趣的同学，请你不妨真的一定要来了解一下 AICP 这个专业的学校。那我们下一场7点50的这个下一场的说明会，我们待会7点45会要再开始，就麻烦大家停留在线上，或者是待会现在休息一下，我们7点45分再回来。Okay, thanks again to Christine and Amanda for your information tonight, and then so I already asked the student if they have any question, they would get in contact with you or visit your school website, and then maybe submit their application as soon as possible to you. Thanks again for tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. 好，那就麻烦请各位同学现在持续的留在我们线上，稍作休息我们等一下7点40分、7点45分再回来，我们就开始我们下一场这个专业的这个 SPEOS 这个巴黎国际摄影学院学校老师非常非常的很像是这个专业的摄影师，非常非常的艺术家，而且他们学校的设备非常非常的先进。如果对于摄影想要成为专业的同学的话，请你务必一定要停留在线上，或者是待会7点45分再一次回来参加我们下一场的说明会。我们稍作休息，待会见，拜拜。